All right. So we just got to wait for that awkward YouTube delay. Someday I'll get fancy and know how to do like a little countdown, Shari. Maybe.
Like Tim does.
Yeah, like Mr. Holtz does.
Maybe he
but
can help.
but maybe not. Maybe that's out of my pay grade.
There it is.
All right. Yay, we're live. I always hate that awkward delay, that like where I'm not sure it's working.
Well,
So
hi people. I'm not Kelly.
yeah, so surprise. Kelly is unable to make it tonight, but that is not a bad thing. It just means we get to hang out with Shari. I pointed the wrong way. So Libby just said, wow, Kelly Marie looks like Shari.
She's wearing her Shari mask today.
So hopefully you guys will all understand and still stick around. I mean, let's be honest, I'm pretty much the one that teaches the cards anyways.
And we'll be honest, I may not be prepared.
I saw you guys talking about the leaves in the comments before, in the chat before the live started, and Shari was just quickly making her own kit and was yelling at me about the leaves too. Listen, I like the leaves on the trees. I like summertime.
Many leaves.
It's not really that many.
It felt like it.
It's not really that many. It's not really that many. So really quick, you guys, welcome to Create With Us here on the Lawn Fawn YouTube channel. These are free mini classes that we host a few times throughout the year. We always release the details about these free classes on release day. So whenever there's a release day, usually almost always, we have some sort of free mini class or two that we are offering. And to give you guys the handout ahead of time. So if you want to create along with us, all of the prep work is there for you. However many leaves I want you to cut is how many leaves you're going to cut. There's also the coloring guides. I will be coloring with Copic markers today, but you can color with any coloring medium. The coloring guides are helpful for anyone. And if you're not creating along with us today, but you're chit-chatting, we love that as well. We always have a fun time. And what's great is these resources will be there for you later. Maybe you haven't purchased the Porcu-pine for You stamp set just yet, but down the road you add it to your collection. You can always go back and download the handout later and use that as a resource. So the other thing I just wanted to mention before I switch cameras around is whenever we do a Create With Us class, I also host an online class. So I teach online classes, not only these free Create classes for Lawn Fawn or classes for their trade shows, I also teach classes through my own website, which is shirkus.com. And as a fun little bonus today, I am offering a coupon code for you guys to be able to check out my online classes. Maybe you haven't had a chance to try them out. Maybe you didn't even know they existed, or maybe you've taken almost all of my online classes. I'm offering 50% off of one online class with the code LFCreate24. So you can go to shirkus.com and pick whatever class you would like. And if you are creating along with us today, there is my Porcu-pine online class, which is next weekend, and it's using almost all of the same supplies that we're using today. So you're going to get even more card ideas, even more coloring guides, and just even more encouragement to use your supplies and create more cards. Something I just thought of that I was going to say, and I forgot. I lost my train of thought. That was kind of awkward. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I was going to say, I remember now. The expiration date isn't until January 20th. So that is 2 weeks from the live tonight. So if you are catching the replay, you still will have time to use that coupon code if you would like. What's great about that is I realize we try to host these mini classes all different days and times, but we also have a lot of you visiting and joining us from all over the world. So it doesn't always work for you to be here with us live, but I wanted to make sure that the coupon code would work for you guys if you're watching on the replay as well. So yay. And Rebecca is in the comments as Lawn Fawn tonight. She's helping answer any questions. Feel free to ask questions tonight. And if you put the word question in all caps, that really helps Shari and I see the question much easier, especially me, as I'm teaching. And I promise I'll let Shari talk too. I promise.
Well, someone asked about a new job. I don't know if they were asking about me. But my new job is I work for LawnFawn.
Yeah,
full time.
Shari's new, not so new job is she gets to work for LawnFawn full time. So,
I don't know if that's what they were asking or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
They said before Christmas, but it was August.
Liz just said today is Saturday, if that's what I was trying to think of. Yeah, I'm no longer saying the days of the week anymore because I can't remember them, but the date I always know. Like I knew it's January 6th, but I don't know if it's Saturday or Tuesday or Sunday.
To be fair, I haven't known what date it is for about 2 weeks now.
Yeah, well, the holidays messes everybody up.
Christmas on a Monday really threw me off, so I'm hoping maybe next week I can get back into whatever.
Yeah, the holidays mess everybody up. But also like when you work for yourself, like there's just no weekend. Like I don't have a weekend, which is fine, but I just never know what day of the week it is. So
they were all asking about me.
Yay!
Sorry for the delay. So now you all know. Not that it was a big secret or anything, but I quit the architecture and now I work for the fawn full time.
I love it. I'm so excited. Like, I don't know. I love to encourage my friends to take a leap and do something that will bring them more happiness. Because
Jen was very encouraging in it. Very encouraging in it. And
almost like a counselor.
Yeah, I am way happier now. I'll say that.
Good.
The stressful job is gone. But we won't talk about that. That's not fun.
No. I love it. Rebecca said, "What's a weekend?" Yeah, she doesn't know what a weekend
is. I don't know. It's a weekend and I'm working, so here we are.
Yeah. Yay. All right. So just like normal, we are going to flip the screen so that you will see my hands, but you'll also see Shari and I'm just setting up screens over here. I feel like out of the loop.
Wearing one of your hoodies, Jen.
Oh, yeah. So I have restocked my hoodies. I know it's the season. So if you want to get some crafty gear, that's on my website as well. All right. So let's go ahead and flip the camera, which again, you'll still see Shari and I, but you're also going to see my table and my hands. Yeah. Oh, yay. Liz saw your floss tube, Shari, and loved seeing you do your stitching.
Yeah, that's something new. Yeah. The floss tube part. The stitching is not new, but sharing is new. Another very encouraging friend.
So we are going to be making these 2 cards today. Now, like I said, whether you are creating along with us or you're just here for the crafty chat, we love all of it. I also want to let you know, we encourage you to substitute. So I know a few people that did my in-person art retreat in November got a hedgehog stamp set from another company, and they're going to use that today, and that's totally okay. Like, we just want you to create and have fun and maybe pick up a tip or trick or two. And again, it's just a fun time for us to get together. Please, please, please share what you're making. Tag Lawn Fawn. You can tag Shari, since she's with us tonight. And you can tag me. And then you also can use the hashtag LF Create with us, which is at the bottom of the screen. Libby just said, I hope Brienne isn't getting any shopping ideas. Libby, have you told Brienne that you've already pre-ordered new crafty gear? I'm just curious.
Oh.
Libby just signed up for my in-person Crop on the Cape event in March. And so she gets first dibs at pre-ordering some new crafty gear. So that might put her ahead of Brienne.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
I feel like this should be like a count.
Oh, there's been a count.
Like a scoreboard.
I think Brienne actually might have pulled ahead. I could be wrong, but now I don't know. All right, so I am going to be following these coloring guides. Again, I provide these coloring guides in the handout. Shari, did you end up printing the handout? It's okay if you didn't.
I did.
Could you just hold it up? Yeah, it's like Shari's holding it up.
You want to see a certain page?
No, just so they can see. It's a multi-page handout.
I was going to flip it to one of the coloring guide pages.
Yeah, I don't bother printing them out because I have the actual coloring guides in front of me. But it's a multi-page handout. Again, this is a free resource on Lawn Fawn's website. There is a link in the grass at the bottom of our screen. It's linked in the description of the video, and I'm sure Rebecca is going to link it as well for everybody. And again, it's just a really great resource to have on hand. So we are going to start by coloring our little hedgehogs first. Actually, no, let's start with our trees. Let's do some warm-up coloring. I always like to do some warm-up coloring. I've been watercoloring all day, so I need some warm-up coloring because it's different coloring with Copics versus watercolor.
So we're going to do our trees first?
Yeah, we're going to start with our trees first. I'm actually going to start with my big trees. Okay. And I kept these pretty simple. I am going to just be using two browns, a light brown and a dark brown. I am going to use E33 and E37. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to color the whole tree the light brown, so that E33. And we're going to kind of do like a cheat on the shadowing, which not really a cheat, but just like an easier way. So when I'm doing this, if you're using an alcohol-based marker, you want to make sure you're just doing one layer of ink because we want this color to stay the lightest version of itself. And I can go ahead and just color the other trees the light brown as well. It's so funny. I feel like I haven't done a live in a while, although I literally did one right before Christmas. So I think it's just that whole New Year feeling. I feel like everything seems out of sorts.
You start new things.
Yep. Start new things. Something else fun I'm going to be doing is, well, actually, I'll talk about it since I just started. Another fun thing I'm going to be doing.
Don't tease them.
I know, I don't want to tease. Another fun thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to have a fun giveaway sometime this week. I don't know exactly when. It really is just timing, probably later this coming week. I'm going to have you guys try to guess how many handmade cards I made in 2023. Brienne was asking me at the end of 2022, which I know Brienne is watching. That literally makes me feel like, yes, it was yesterday when she was asking me how many cards I made. And I was like, I don't really know. And so for fun, I just kept track in 2023 and I tallied them up. And so I'm going to do a fun giveaway. Again, later this week, you'll see on my social media, on my website, and you'll have to try to guess how many handmade cards I made in 2023. Brienne does know because she wanted to know. She didn't want to be part of the giveaway. And since it was her idea, I was like, yeah, I'll tell you.
We started it.
Yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my darker brown, the E37, and I'm just going to trace all the little lines on the tree. All those little bark lines. And I'm going to do one tree at a time. So I just did my smaller one. And I'm going to take that a ton. I'm going to take, you have to guess a real number, Alyssa. I'm going to take I'm going to take the E33 and I'm going to go ahead and go over those bark lines a couple times. And that's going to soften that harsh line and kind of give some nice dimension to those lines. Brienne says, if it makes you feel better, I've already forgotten. That's funny. Well, you still can't be part of the giveaway, Miss Brienne. Sorry.
I've forgotten the exact number, but it was more than I guessed. She made me guess first.
Yeah. Before she told me. Because it's fun.
But it was significantly different than what I had guessed.
And now I'm going to do the same exact thing on the larger tree. The thing is you want to do one tree at a time, just so that while I put down this darker brown, the E37, it's still kind of wet on the paper when I go over it with the E33. And that's going to kind of help the two colors blend together and soften and just kind of has this really nice dimension, but in a really easy way. So while we're doing this, Shari, do you want to say the other exciting thing?
Yes. About class?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, what is the other exciting thing? Jen and I are doing a class again, and we're going to put that information out on Monday. Is that right?
Yep.
Monday. I should do but we're going to do a little poll. Let me move my stuff so I can do it. We're going to see if you can guess what stamp set we're using.
Yeah, so Shari and I have taught a couple online classes together, East Coast Faunies. We've done Frosty Friends. We've done, obviously, Happy Harvest. We've done Birthday Bash, what set was that with, Shari?
High Five.
Oh, yeah, High Five. And is that it? Have we only done 3 together?
We've only done 3, yeah.
Oh, so we will be announcing details for our new class together on Monday. And we thought it would be fun for you guys to try to guess what the main stamp set is that we're going to use in this class. So Shari's going to put up a poll and you guys can kind of all chime in what you think the new stamp set, or it's not a new stamp set. We always do a previously released, but what our new class's theme is going to be.
It's hard to do stuff and think at the same time.
It is, Shari. It's hard to multitask sometimes.
All right, there it is.
Yay!
Limited to 4 choices, so you guys.
So it's a previously released set. And so Shari put up some options there, and now you can kind of guess what you think it'll be. I'm very excited about the class. We make 4, when Shari and I teach together, we make 4 cards in class. We'll give you guys 2 bonus card ideas. And out of the 4 cards, we're actually making 2 interactive, unique interactive cards. And then we're doing kind of 2 watercolory inky cards, which I'm sure you can guess who's teaching which too.
You can guess who came up with what.
Yeah.
Oh, Karen asked if they can use a discount for the new class, not the new class.
So the discount will work on every online class in my store except for the new class. And the only reason why is because I got to pay Shari. So I didn't want to take money away from that. But all of my online classes.
The other East Coast Fauni classes for 50% off.
Exactly. The other East Coast Fauni classes for 50% off. My new classes, so Porcu-pine and Winter Wheel Wishes are 50% off.
Wow.
Yeah, all of them. My Copic 101 class, which is an $80 class because you get a workbook shipped to you, you could get for 50% off.
Your distress classes, those were
Yep.
fun. I
All
actually
my
took some of those.
all
Yep.
my technique classes. Yep. So yay, yay, yay. I'm genabling you again, Lori. What am I genabling you for? Trees?
Classes.
Classes. Yeah, hopefully. Classes. Oh, I want to see. What's the poll say so far?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
fun to see.
Oh no, I don't want to end it. I want to see it.
Yeah, don't end it yet.
I don't think it. Oh, I need to scroll down. It's fine.
I'm like, don't end it yet.
Technology is hard. Well, no, I clicked on it to like make it come down, and it just it was like, do you want to end? I'm like, no, I don't want to end. Oh, there it goes. Oh,
all right. So we are going to color the hedgehogs next. And I thought what we would do is just do all the quills first.
Rebecca's funny. She says, I'm going to say the person who will not be using glitter today is not doing the inky messy class.
Oh,
say I wouldn't use glitter. I just said I wasn't in a big bin.
Well, in the new class, we're going to be using stickles.
Yes,
using
this is
the glitter.
true.
I am conforming for that one time. We are using chunky glitter though.
I don't know that you completely conformed though, Jen. So you came up with a new.
I know. I came up with a new technique with chunky
new
glitter.
thing.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so yes, there is a coupon code for the 50% off of a class, and it is. I already forgot.
Hold on.
That's what happens. Here we go. I'll put it on the screen. It is LF Create 24. So LF Create 24. All right. So we are going to go ahead and start coloring the quills of the porcupine. So I am going to be using E40. I think I said hedgehog before.
You did say, well, no, you said that people had a different set with hedgehogs.
Yeah, but actually it's with porcupines.
So okay.
I'm all messed up.
It's okay. If you continue to say hedgehogs, I would have corrected you.
Okay.
So we're good. We're good.
Please do. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with me. Okay.
It's been a day.
It's been a day, that's for sure. So I'm going to be using E49 and E47. So these are much darker, richer browns than what we used for the tree. And so I'm going to start with E49. And I kind of kept the quills pretty easy. I am just going to trace a thin line of E49 along their bodies, but on the quill side. And if you're doing the shadow, it's, in my opinion, okay with alcohol-based markers to go ahead and just do that shadow on all the items. It's when you get into the blending, you want to stick to one area because that's when you're going to start to really saturate the cardstock and have things start to blend together. Okay. Oh, good. Pam thought it was hedgehogs first as well. They could be, I guess. I mean,
it's okay.
It's okay. I mean,
they can be both, but they're porcu-pine.
yeah. Well, true. The sentiment. What I love about Lawn Fawn sets in general, though, and as actually like Lawn Fawn fans, is how creative people can be. Like with the scenes that we build and how we use things for unique ways. Like, so if you have somebody in your life that loves hedgehogs, then here's your hedgehog. Go for it. Yep. Shari, somebody is asking, what is your title and job responsibilities with Lawn Fawn? That sounds so official.
My job responsibility was a whole long list of things that continues to change all the time. And my job title, I don't remember what my actual title was. Content creator was part of it, but there was a second part that I think we changed. It's already changed. I think it was content creator and I forgot. But I have been working on well, the same stuff you've always seen me work on, but also marketing things and emails. I've been helping with Instagram.
Well, real quick, Shari, I'm going to just
Yeah,
jump in. What Shari's
go ahead.
always been working on and helping with is
Oh,
she helps with all of the intro videos that are released at every release. So Shari,
yeah.
Kelly, and Rebecca all work really hard at getting those done. And then also Shari has at least one video on the Lawn Fawn YouTube channel a month. Is that accurate, Shari? Yeah.
Yes, one or two. I also help prep all the videos that go on the Lawn Fawn channel. Get those ready with our, beginnings and endings. I am the jack of all trades. And Kelly told me that the very first conversation. She's like, "You'll
That's
be
your
the
official job title,
Jill
actually.
of all trades." Yeah, it is Rebecca says it's a developing position.
Yeah.
That it is. So I've done at this point. I've done the videos and the prepping that I've always done. Now I've taken over sharing stuff on social media stories for Instagram. I've done you've seen I've done some reels with the stitching things and some card making. I've done
You make
email.
all the patterns for the
Yeah.
stitching.
Oh, the patterns are a new thing that wasn't even really part of the scope at the beginning. Now it is. I was trying to think of what else. It's just like we think of something new and we're like, oh, sure, I can work on that. But luckily, I have lots of skills that can be used in many different ways. So
Exactly.
So I am not always just sitting here coloring. I am doing computer work and editing photos and videos, and so just so you know.
So I did switch marker colors. I used E47 to blend. So I'll bring in the other two hedgehogs I haven't colored yet. Porcupines. Oh my
Porcupines. So
gosh.
47 is the quote lighter color of the darker colors, right?
Exactly. So what I do with the E47 is I go right along where I did the E49, the darker brown, to kind of get those two to blend together, which happens pretty quickly. And then I'm going to fill in the rest of his quills with just one layer because we really want to keep this as light as this color can be. I know it's a dark color. It was meant to be a dark color. And I'll explain why we're doing that. And so again, it's a very quick and easy blend. So I'm just kind of swiping that second marker right along where we put the first marker down. And then I'm going to just fill in that rest of that area with one layer.
So your first marker was an E49. I don't
exactly.
have that.
Yep.
So I have an E79 and it works pretty well in case anyone.
Whoa. I trust
I your have a 49.
No, I'm just saying whoa, I've never even heard of that one because I don't have that one.
The E70s are a beautiful brown color that I use a lot. You should look into it.
Oh, maybe you should use them in an East Coast Phonies class.
I use them often to color mice.
And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going back to my darkest brown, which is the E49, and I'm just going to trace over those quill lines twice, thin lines, but I'm just going boop, boop, just to kind of fill in some texture.
Libby called me the Lawn Fawn human Swiss Army knife.
That's a really good
hilarious
job title. Let Mike know that's your new job title. Kelly will be like, how did it go, guys? And we'll be like, well, we figured out Shari's job title. And we had fun making hedgehog cards. So, yep, missed you.
So I ended the poll because it looked like you guys had stopped voting.
Okay, tell us the results.
Critters in the Sea was the winner. Yappy Birthday came in second, followed by Fairy Friends, and Meow You Doing was last.
All right. Are we going to make them wait till Monday to find out what the winner is?
I was gonna let you decide that. Monday's not far away. We might could tell him. That might be one of our own secrets to let
Let the viewers know or keep it as a secret.
Yeah.
I don't know. What should we do, people? What should we do?
They're gonna be like, tell us.
I know. They're gonna be like, no, don't tell us.
Oh, see, Rebecca loves the E70s too.
Yeah, and Nikki says it's like a purpley brown. Oh.
It's like a taupey brown. It doesn't have the warm redness in it.
I'm gonna have to look on a color chart.
Brown. It's not.
We're here. Really let us know
when you're doing like a whole bunch of critters and they're all brown, but you don't want them to all be the same brown, right?
Well, I know. That's why we're using 30s and 40s and
what? Okay, well, you should also use the 70s.
Okay, I'll work on it. Everybody wants to know. Just let the people who watch this now.
Well, the people who watch this now voted correctly.
Yeah, it is going to be Critters in the Sea. It's going to be called Under the Sea. And again, details on Monday on my website. We'll be doing 2 interactive cards, 2 inky cards, watercolory cards. And we really hope you'll join us. It's fun. The online classes, you can join us live or you can watch them at your convenience. You can rewatch the videos. You get access to resources. They're really a lot of fun.
Oh, someone said they wanted to know because they needed to know if they needed new stamps.
Yep. We should see how many Critters in the Sea stamp sets are selling now.
If you buy them now, then we know if they need to reorder.
Yeah. We did already tell Lawn Fawn headquarters, so they did get a good stock of them because it is an older set. And I just want to say it's Critters in the Sea because that's what was #1 voted when I did a feedback poll a few months ago. It is not Critters in the Sea because I'm a mermaid. I would just like everybody to know that.
That's true.
Let's see.
Fairy Friends was a close second.
Yeah, Fairy Friends was a close second.
Wasn't Fairy Friends second in the poll?
It
was third.
Oh, what was second?
In this one, in this poll.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, the one we did for class was Fairy Friends. On this one, Yappy Birthday was second. I had to throw a dog one in there and a cat one to throw you off.
So, Michelle, I see your question about washi tape. I would just email info@lawnfawn.com and they can help you out with that. And the coupon code does not work for the Me and Shari class because I have to pay Shari. So, but it's all of my classes online and there are so many. Even my new classes that I haven't even done yet that are coming, we're doing Porcu-pine this Saturday and Winter Wheel Wishes will release this week too. All right. So for the baby porcupine, not hedgehog, what we're going to do, because it's such a small area on his quills, I'm going to take my lighter of the browns, so E47. I'm going to color the quill area, and then I'm just going to take that darker brown and I'm going to trace over the quill lines. So it's just because it is such a small area, it's a really dark color, but I did want to add just a little bit of definition into that baby porcupine.
Somebody asked what the Critters in the Sea set was. Hold on.
Oh, show your really loved Critters in the Sea set.
See my really loved set. It's not that one. It's on the yellow side.
It is loved. And I think it came out in 2011, if I remember correctly. It's pretty close to that.
So it's pretty old.
And I think I've had mine since 2012. So.
And someone asked, when is the class? I forgot what we said.
Yeah, can you? I don't remember.
Wow,
I
we
think
moved
it's
it.
February 10th, but I'm going to let
February
Shari
10th.
confirm that.
It is February 10th.
See, guys,
Where's
I'm
what?
really good with dates, just not days of the week.
Which
So
is a
this is
Saturday.
a really good question, and then we're going to start coloring the porcupines' bellies. But Amy Lynn said, I have 0 Lawn Fawn special effect dies, so I think that she's asking for about interactive cards. So she said, which is the great one to start out with? But I also wanted to just say what that made me think of when Amy Lynn asked that is even if you have no interactive dies, you can still take Shari and my class because you can use the layout of the cards and make a non-interactive card. And then after the class, maybe you'll be enabled to want to treat yourself to a new interactive die, and then you can just recreate the card again in an interactive way. So, but what I think it's a personal preference, but what do you think is a good interactive die to start with, Shari?
Oh, someone else mentioned the platform pop-up, which I really like because it's almost like a 3-dimensional scene versus something that you have to figure out the mechanics of.
And I always just say reveal wheel. Like
reveal wheel is pretty easy too because it's still flat
easy.
and just the thing in the window changes and you don't have to figure out like where to put something to cover up something or that kind of thing. Some of the other ones that are a little more like gotta think it out and plan it.
And what I like about the reveal wheel too is there's a lot of add-ons, but they're not that expensive. So you can play with the reveal wheel for like a wicked long time, and then you might get a little tired of it, and you can purchase an add-on for not that much money and play with it a ton more again. And so I like that about that. I just want to mention PJ said that they're going to be on their way to the Eagles game on February 10th. That's exciting. Is that the Super Bowl? I don't know. I live in New England, so we don't talk about football or baseball right now.
Super Bowl.
But
it probably is in February. I'm gonna guess
it is. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. But
sorry,
but
guys.
I just want to say all of my online classes, you don't need to be there that day and time. You can take them at your own pace whenever you want. So yeah. Oh, Rebecca's giving away secrets, but before we read that, I just want to say
on Sunday, not Saturday, so we're good.
Yeah, but she's on the way to go see them, so that's
I know, but I just mean people at home. Did you see what Rebecca said about Critters in the Sea? Yeah. Critters in the Sea came out in 2010, and it was the second set. Rebecca just wrote it on the thing.
Thank you, Rebecca.
I knew it was old.
I'm going to color the bodies. We're going to do E42 for the shadow and E41 for the blend. So the E42, I'm going to do basically like what we just did, but I'm going to hug the quills with the E42, do a little bit of shadowing between legs and underarms. And then I'm going to blend out with E41. So I'm going to do one porcupine at a time while we continue to chit chat. Rebecca just gave away a secret, which is what I wanted to not miss, is she said there might be a new interactive coming out in February that's super easy to build too. That's exciting.
Also, by the way, it's not an Eagles football game, it's an Eagles concert. Which
that's fun. Now I'll talk about that. That's fun. I wasn't sure who's going to be in the Super Bowl. Again, Patriots fan here, so we're not really talking about football.
But yeah, we did pick Super Bowl weekend apparently. But our class is on Saturday, not Sunday.
Yeah. So treat yourself. Treat yourself. Yep. Before the big game. If you're going to watch it.
Creative. It's always good to do creative things. When it's the Super Bowl, usually all the men are watching the game at my mom's house and all the women are working on a puzzle.
Oh, I was wondering if you were going to say stitching.
No, we're usually working on a puzzle. Sometimes I go between the two rooms. It depends, but my sister.
I like to watch the commercials.
Yes.
It's always interesting.
Libby has corrected us that no one knows who will be in the Super Bowl yet.
Okay, good to know. Again, I stopped watching football a while ago.
I only watch my college football. The rest, I just rely on my husband to tell me.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
So you can see I'm shadowing all of my porcupines. I'm following my coloring guides. On this little baby porcupine, I'm just kind of putting a little bit of that E42 darker brown on each cheek. I'm going along each side, a thin line. His back feet will all be dark, and I'm doing a little line under each of his arms. And now that I have that shadow done, I am going to blend out with my E41. Now, when I'm using a lighter color combo like this, I'm actually keeping my darker marker uncapped. I know you can't see it on camera because I'm trying to stay zoomed in for you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend with the E41. Then I'm going to fill in with one layer of that E41. And then what I like to do when I'm doing lighter colors, like a light brown, yellows, pinks, I jump right back to my darker color and I'm just going to dab a little bit more in while my cardstock is still damp from blending. And that way, because this is a lighter color and you're kind of losing that dimension when you do blend, you're kind of putting a little bit of that back in. So again, I'm leaving both of my markers uncapped. This is kind of a new thing I started doing last year. Instead of recapping and capping, I just find it a lot easier to hop right back, grab my darker color and dab a little bit more in where I kind of want it. Hopefully that makes sense. I have been coloring with Copics for probably 20 years now, 18, 19, 20 years. And even to this day, I find that I'm learning new things and I'm improving my coloring. And, I think Libby and I were just talking about it. Like it just takes practice. And again, you just kind of improve on that skill as you learn new things. You just kind of come up with new ways of doing things. So yeah. I really like when Shari and I teach a class together because I actually have her. This kind of happened on accident, but it was like a good accident. I have her design her cards first. And what that does is it kind of sets the tone for the color palette of the class. And Shari and I have very different styles in a good way. So it sets the color palette. And so those of you that do take a lot of my online classes, it kind of switches things up. We do different Copic combos, different ink combos, and I really love it. I really enjoy it. So now it's kind of become the way we do it. She designs her cards first, and then I use similar supplies to design mine. All right.
So stickles. No, I'm just kidding. She told me to use stickles. I got permission first.
I said it would be fun because it's like...
She's like, we are going to change it up because everyone knows you like stickles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Libby says that she used to color all the time, but she's out of practice, so she needs to exercise that old muscle. And it's just like riding a bike. It'll come back to you, Libby.
You can take the Copic class, Libby.
She did.
Okay.
Libby is such a huge supporter. She's so sweet. I saw her order come in. She signed up for my Copic class. I shipped her the workbook. She was working on it.
Good job. That's like I did the pencil class, the distress watercolor pencil class. I did something else too.
I think you did the
sprays. We did sprays.
Oh yeah. And did you do the ink one too?
Maybe.
That one was a long time ago, but
I don't remember.
I'll have some.
I think I watched it. I think I helped you with questions.
You might have helped
comment. I took it like
oh
I
my
took
gosh. I know that was.
I think Sharon helped you with questions on the other ones because she knows more about distress stuff.
Yeah,
I helped you on that one actually.
That was my distress technique about inks. That was my first one, and signups were really amazing. It was like during the peak of the pandemic, which I'm so thankful for that so many people wanted to learn from me. But then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to answer all the questions. So my friend Sharon, who is also a Tim Holtz maker, she came in and helped answer questions because I was like, I'm not going to be able to teach and look up, and the chat's going to go too fast. And it was
she helped you for that one.
Yeah.
Remember, I mean, maybe I took it. I feel like I was around.
I'm sure you were. You usually pop in. You usually pop in and help too. You're a good supporter.
Well, Elaine is sick with COVID. We're sorry.
Oh, feel better, Elaine.
It's not fun.
Robin says the ink class was her first gen class. Aw, Robin. And you probably have taken every class since. So sadly, you can't use the coupon code. For those of you that have taken all of my classes, I apologize that the coupon code doesn't work for anything. Please know I love you, and I offer lots of other sales and such. So
we love your support.
Kristen said, I haven't seen you Copic color in so long, Jen. I forgot your technique. Plus, I have been using distress pencils lately. I have too. I'm obsessed with my distress watercolor pencils. Obsessed. So it's kind of hard to switch back and forth. And I was using them all day today. So I'm like, All right. So look how cute they are, you guys. I love these little porcupine hedgehogs. All right. So what we're going to do next is we are going to rosy their cheeks, add some pink to their noses and their ears. Really, any light pink will do. I'm going to use R30, R30.
Oh, yeah. Connie says the heart canvas that Sharon made for Tim was awesome. I've told her twice that I will give her my address if she needs it.
Nope, it's already mine. Like, I'm literally going to drive to New Jersey and steal it. Just saying.
Maybe she should teach a class and show us all how to do it.
Maybe. I was actually, I actually have probably 4 or 5 different pieces of Sharon's in my studio that I've purchased. She sometimes puts her artwork for sale, so you never know.
Well, I'm just gonna message her and tell her I will pay her before she puts it up for sale.
Thank you so much, Nikki. I appreciate that. And Jen, I just wanted to thank you for your helpful blog post comparing the distress ink. So helpful. You're welcome. I only have the chow. Will that slow me down in your Copic class? No. The chow's, the sketch, and the original, they're all the same. They do the same thing. Will not slow you down at all. And it's online, so you can pause me, rewind me, fast forward me, mute me. You can do whatever you want.
You have complete control over Jen.
Is the coupon code not working? I haven't been reading the chat very well.
Oh.
You do have to log in because you need to have an account with my website so you'll be able to access the resources. So if you don't have an account, just make one. That's free. And then purchase. But I'm not quite sure. If there's an error with the coupon code, I quickly made it today before live. So just send me an email and I'll get it all figured out. No worries. Libby says, I paused Jen over and over and over. All right, so I'm going to just dab these little cheeks. Be gentle with the tips of your markers, but you want to do continuous dabs so that pink will kind of overpower the brown. It's a light brown, but still this is a light pink. So you can rosy your cheeks however bright you want them to be. But I always like to remind you, even though we're dabbing with our markers, we still want to be gentle so we don't damage the tips. And again, these tips and tricks work for all alcohol-based markers. I know a lot of people are playing with the Olos, and there's many, many brands of alcohol-based markers out there, but there's differences, but they all kind of blend the same with the same tips and tricks.
Lisa said your coupon code worked for her. She didn't know if it was for new customers only. It is not. It's for everybody.
No, it's for everybody. I was just saying, if you've taken all of my online classes, there isn't a class for you to get 50% off of. That's what I meant. Okay,
I could see how that would be confusing.
If
you've bought all the things, there's nothing else for you to buy.
Yeah, if you've bought all of the things, thank you.
But it's for everyone.
Yes. You can any markers.
Someone asked how long it's good for, and tell me again.
I'm going to put it up on the screen for a few minutes. The coupon code, I'm sorry, in the Copic class, you can use any alcohol-based markers. I will just say that I do go over refilling Copics and changing the nibs. So that type of information is going to not pertain to a different brand than Copics. But the other information I think is still of value.
Yeah, you can get past that part.
So the coupon code is good until January 20th. I put the code on the screen and it has the expiration date there. So now let's color all of our leaves. There's really not that many.
When you're die cutting them out, it feels like a lot.
Well, I'm just going to tell you, when you have a mini die cut machine, it doesn't seem that bad.
You still have to move the die 3
times. Okay. It's part of the hobby. It's fun.
It is. But I was trying to do it under a time crunch. That was the problem for me.
Danielle says we need new Shirk merch that says I bought all of the things. A few people have emailed and said they want Shirk merch that just says I've been enabled. Like my sticker.
Like no one knows what that means out in the world.
That's okay. It would strike up a conversation.
They'll be like, what is that?
Yeah, Libby just said an I've been enabled hoodie. I totally buy that. All right, so we're going to start the leaves. I wanted them to be really kind of light in color. I didn't want them to be super heavy. So I'm going to be using YG05 and YG01. I'm going to start with the YG05. That's going to be my darker green. And I'm going to shadow all my leaves at once. And I did it very simply. All I did is on the cluster of leaves, I'm going to just shadow where they're touching each other, like so. And on the single leaves, I'm going to just do that U at the bottom. And I'm doing the same thing, whether it's a big leaf or a small leaf, okay?
I'm enjoying the chat.
Please let me know what they're saying.
Fact that I've bought all the things that have been enabled.
Oh, you guys are funny. You're cracking me up.
Hard fact.
Well, while I'm coloring the leaves, I do just want to mention, besides Shari and I announcing a class on Monday, I also am teaching at Firefly Farm's online event. It's called Creative Crate. Firefly Farm is a store in Minnesota, and they do these really fun online events. There's several teachers, but I will be teaching a lawn fawn class. It's an exclusive lawn fawn class. It'll be with the spring release, just before the spring release comes out. So you'll be able to play with that new spring release. You do get some lawn fawn product in the box. You get card kits from me. I think some of the other brands that are taking part are Pretty Pink Posh, Pink Fresh. But what's also fun about Creative Crate is Trisha's store in Minnesota has a lot of really fun gift items besides paper crafting. And so she spoils you in the crate with some gifts as well as paper crafting products. So I have all the details on my website. Yeah, like the cute little rainbow dishes that you got for Christmas. Rainbow dishes. Yeah, they're so cute. I love them.
I have my letters in my rainbow dish.
That's a good idea. So check that out. That's a really fun online class. And then just one other thing I want to mention is I do a couple in-person events here on Cape Cod in Massachusetts, but I have one coming up in March. It's called Crop on the Cape. It's going to be our 25th year. It's crazy. I haven't been running it for 25 years, but I've been part of it almost all the 25 years. And there's a lot of different classes being offered at that event. And I'll be teaching a lawn fawn beachcomber class, which I love my cards so much. And those classes are open to the public, and because the event was sold out, although there are a couple seats available, like literally like less than 5. So if you're interested in that, you can send me an email. But lots of fun things. And look at that. All our leaves are colored. Just a little chit chat and it goes by quick.
Brienne did say it was a lot of leaves. Someone wants a shirt that says, I have full set syndrome.
Oh, that would be fun.
And someone else is going to buy that shirt, so you should probably make that one happen. I forgot what my suggestion was to you.
Oh, I have your suggestion. It's going to happen, so don't say it.
Okay, I won't.
It'll be a surprise. So the thing about merch is I do my business out of my home, and pullover hoodies take up a lot of space. You might not think they do, but they do. And so I can only do a few designs at a time because, again, I do this out of my home.
You don't have a warehouse.
Yeah. And in Massachusetts, especially on Cape Cod, our homes are small because they're expensive.
You need a place to live.
Yeah. All right. Let's do our little acorns. I think these little acorns are so cute. We are going to use E33 and E51.
Oh, Rebecca would also like your full set shirt as well.
Okay. I'll put you guys on a wait list. Oh, somebody mentioned I live in Minnesota and wanted to go every year. Have to just do it already. I don't know if you're talking about classes at Firefly Farm. Which, if you live in Minnesota, you need to come to my classes at Firefly Farm. But if you're talking about Crop on the Cape, then yes, you just need to do it. Kathy has a good question. What would you buy if you were to start your Copic collection? Rebecca, if you don't mind linking my Copic 101 blog post, but I have a top 50 set of markers, Kathy, for you to choose from is a good starter set. So it doesn't mean you need to buy all 50 at once, but start picking and choosing colors off of that.
Because I'll be honest, I have a lot. I don't have them all, but I do not use them all. You find the ones that you like.
Yep.
So even maybe watching like lawn fun videos that me or some of the other girls do that color a lot, and if you see ones that we use a lot and you like them, like I use R22 all the time. I know Jen likes other pinks, but you find the ones you like. You don't need them all,
right?
Because you'll tend to go towards the ones you really love.
Well, once you come up with color combos you like, there's no need to really reinvent the wheel. I'll find that I'm reinventing the wheel when a new critter comes out and I'm like, okay, how am I going to color this or whatever? But yeah, you could just use the same color combos over and over. I have some really great free printables on my website too, where you can keep track of your favorite color combos. So if you don't remember them, you can just kind of put them in a binder, flip to them and keep track as well. So for the tops of the acorns, I didn't do any blending or anything. I'm just going to color them E47. And I have to apologize, you guys. I'm starting to hear myself sound a little nasally. I am a bit congested, so I'm trying not to sniff, but I am getting nasally, I can tell.
Sign up for your Copic. Oh, that's Joy. Joy signed up for your Copic class.
Oh, yay, Joy. I'm surprised you haven't taken it yet, but I'm glad you were able to use that coupon code. You're welcome.
Oh,
yeah.
Libby has a lot overwhelming.
He said, if you're gonna do any of my classes, then you definitely need to own the BGs. And the Gen BGs are BG11, BG13, and BG32. All right, let's color our mushrooms. And if you know me, they're not going to be red. But we are going to use R35 and RV13 to just kind of make them a pinky red. AKA
R35 is the color you like to use a lot.
I love it because it's my way of using red, but not making something red. So what I did with the mushrooms is I'm going to take this R35 and I'm just going to do a thin line at the bottom of the head of the mushroom. So if there's a dot on the mushroom, I'm going around that. If it's touching another mushroom, I'm going around that. But I'm just doing a very thin line with that R35 at the base of each mushroom.
Someone asked a question about the date of your Firefly Farm, the Creative Crate.
It is it's the week before the Lawn Fawn release. And my class is on the Friday night of that. Can you help with that, Shari?
Yeah, let me go look.
So I'm blending out the mushrooms with RV13 and then filling in the rest of it with RV13. So when you're blending, it's going to be darker because you're doing multiple layers. And then when you finish filling in with the same marker, you just do one layer so it stays nice and light.
February 16th
is
the Firefly Farm Creative Crate, and I'm trying to get the I'll put a link to your
if you go to my class schedule, Shari, it's listed there. You can just right click to grab the link.
I was trying to click the more info part.
Hopefully that makes sense.
Being super slow.
And what I did on the little stems of the mushrooms is I took E51. This is not going to show up on the camera, but it'll show up for you at home. I took E51 and I just drew a little line on the right side of all those stems. And that just adds a hint of a shadow to those white stems. I also dabbed a little bit in the dots on the mushrooms, just so they weren't so white.
Okay, I thought I saw another question here.
So Denise said, how much is Crop on the Cape? If you go to croponthecape.com, but it's $175 to attend, and then the classes are priced individually on top of that, because then you get to choose which classes you do or don't want to take. But all the details are over on croponthecape.com. Lawn Fawn's spring release is always at the end of February. So now with the hearts, I did the same exact thing that I did with the mushrooms. I did the R35, the RV13, but I threw in a third color because I really just kind of wanted a highlight. So I'm going to throw in that RV21. Thank you so much, Rebecca and Shari, for linking stuff. I don't know who's doing what, but thank you.
Oh, I was doing those. I am the overachiever that's finished my coloring, so I was trying to catch up, see if there was questions.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you. It's hard for me to look up and see what everybody's saying and teach coloring at the same time. And usually Kelly and Rebecca are in the same room. So like Rebecca will say the questions out loud. So.
And usually I'm the fourth person dropping all the links everywhere.
Right. Exactly.
We're just one man down today.
We're one man down today, but it's okay. We're doing all right. Besides calling the porcupines hedgehogs, we're doing good. All right. So I dabbed on the RV13, blending that R35. And then I'm just going to finish the tops of these hearts with RV21. Again, I just kind of wanted a little bit more of a highlight on these hearts than we really had the room to do on the mushrooms. Remember, I always color out of the lines when I'm teaching live. It's just the angle that I have to be on camera. But what I do, if I do color out of the lines, I just use my Sakura Jelly Roll white gel pen, and I'm just going to color right over where I went out of the lines. Nobody will ever know. All right, and then the last thing that we're going to color is our little card. And all I did for this is I took the E51, the really light brown, and I'm just going to kind of draw an L on the card to do a little bit of a shadow, color that back panel of the card, and then the heart I colored RV13, but you could do red if you wanted. I won't judge you.
Oh, can I?
Yep, you could color over it, Shari, but you can only use R35 because that's the color palette of the class. What? So cute.
I already added an extra element. We'll talk about that later.
I do love a Valentine color palette after doing so much holiday stuff. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but it does make my heart happy.
Erica asked, hedgehogs have quills too, don't they? I have no idea.
They do, I think. Yeah. Because they curl up. They curl up into like a ball.
I mean, I would say yes, but I also feel like
oops.
No, I don't know for sure. That's a question for Google.
I think that they do.
I think that they do, or something similar. It's not fur.
I'm not sure. All right. So now what we're going to do next is our stenciling.
Oh, someone says yes, they got to hold one once.
Cool.
Or before Christmas.
Cool. Oh, yes, Elaine did. I saw that on her Facebook. She shared
it. That's fun.
Actually, I think she even shared it in the Lawn Fanatics group. I feel like maybe that's where I saw it. Okay. So we are going to do some stenciling. Whenever I am doing stenciling, I like to use my Make Art Station. This is a magnetic board. I know Lawn Fawn carries them in their online shop. I just like it because it's just quick and easy to kind of move my stencil around and do all the things. So we have 2 card kits. I am going to take out the white cardstock from one of the card kits. It doesn't matter. They're both 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 white. I use Distress White Heavy Stock when I am ink blending, which Lawn Fawn now carries in their online shop because they've been enabled. And what I like to just do is use a little bit of Tombow removable runner, and I just put a couple lines on the back of my paper. This is going to hold my paper in place on this board. And that way, when I'm using my stencil, I'm going to use the magnets and I never worry about my paper moving. All right. So the first background we're going to work on is this one right here. And the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to ink blend our grass. So Lawn Fawn has this really great grassy stencil. And what's awesome about it is it has the stencil, it has like the positive and the negative. And you guys are going to kind of see how this works as we start to make our card. I don't remember how high up I did it. Let me check because I know you guys are all measurers. Okay. So I'm going to turn, our card is going to be vertical, but I'm going to turn sideways because it's going to be easier for me to ink blend. And I am going to lay my stencil down about 1 inch from the bottom. And we're using the open part of the stencil, okay? Not our negative or our positive part. We're using the open part. So I'm going to put it up about 1 inch up, about-ish. Doesn't matter. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to use my magnets to hold my stencil in place. And for this grass, I am going to ink blend with Lawn Fawn Celery Stick, which is just a really nice light green. I always like to use my ink stands when I'm ink blending so my ink pads don't move all over my table. Now, I am not sure what the last green is that I used on my blending brush. So I actually never clean my blending brushes, but I always have a flour sackcloth in my lap. So I'm going to take my flour sackcloth and I'm going to massage the blender brush. The flour sackcloth is very absorbent, so it's going to take whatever last green color that I used, if it was a dark green or light green, whatever, it's going to take that ink off the brush so that when I go to use this lighter green, we're not going to see it. All right. Oh, you're welcome, Barbara. I'm so glad you guys are finding a class to sign up for. That makes me so happy. All right. So what I do when I'm ink blending is I'm going to rub my blender brush into the ink pad. And I am then going to tap my blender brush off on a non-porous surface. That's just going to kind of drop some of my ink off my brush so it's not so loaded up. And then I'm going to start blending on my stencil and bringing my blender brush down into the paper. I either start off the page or on the stencil. In this case, the way this stencil is built, it's just a lot easier to blend down from the stencil.
Well, Josie's here.
I thought I saw her earlier.
She says, I love listening to you two while getting some important work done.
Oh, she is busy working on class handouts, actually, for me. Thank you, Josie. Josie has been working for me part-time for almost a year now. So exciting.
Libby says, I bet your boss appreciates that.
All right. So now that I have my grass blended, what I'm going to do is I am going to take my flour sackcloth and I'm just rubbing the stencil. This is going to pick up any of that extra green ink that didn't go onto my paper. Just going to take that away. And I'm going to take the stencil. This is the magic of the stencil, is I'm going to slide it down. And with the mask that's built into the stencil, I'm going to cover my grass. Okay. And then we have, is this Lots of Hearts? Do you remember, Shari, the name of this stencil? I forget.
Sure. Let me look.
Maybe Thank
Rebecca
you.
knows better than me.
It's on my handout.
Oh, it's on the handout. Oh, like I can find it on the handout.
Thank you. That's why I asked you.
It is Lots of Hearts background stencils. Yay. I can find it on the Lawn website faster than the handout.
Thanks.
I look stuff up on there all the time.
We're going to take the Lots of Hearts stencil, which is a 2-part stencil, but we're only going to use one. And it really doesn't matter which one you use. They're both amazing. And we are going to cover that over that grass mask, covering the rest of the card. And then I'm going to put my magnets in place. And what I love about using the Make Art Station is because of the magnets, you can always move the magnets around to get into where you need to ink blend. But I don't need to worry about, I've never liked the sprays and stuff that you use with stencils. I just think that's too messy.
No, I don't like them either.
And I have 3 cats with lots of cat hair, so it would just be a hot mess.
Does it matter which heart stencil you use?
It doesn't matter which one at all. They'll both look cute, but we are just going to use one of them because I didn't want a ton of
stuff. You don't want it completely full.
Yeah. So now I'm going to use Lawn Fawn Bubblegum ink, which is a really fun pink. Again, I don't remember what pink I used last, so I'm going to massage my blender brush.
Shari, someone's asking if I'm using heavy cardstock. I'm using the same
Oh.
The white, distressed white
heavy stock.
I think she's asking because I don't always use it, which I never use it in videos, but I'm using it today because of Jen. Because the instructions told me to.
Which, let me clarify, I didn't make you.
No, I had some pieces already cut from working on the class stuff, so it was actually really easy. I just took a piece and cut it in half.
So now we are going to ink blend our hearts over that grass mask. So it's going to be cute. We're going to have a few little hearts peeking out of the grass. I am having a gentle hand when I'm ink blending because I do want my hearts to kind of stay pretty light.
Whoops.
Or not.
Gentle hand. What is that?
I know. I have to say it because if I don't say it, I'm very heavy-handed. But you can see how I'm like moving the magnets out of my way when I want to get somewhere else on the stencil.
Oh, sorry. Someone said that they tap the ink off in their ink in the lid, which is smart too. I think Callie does that.
I tend to tap on the table because usually I'm ink blending on the table and then I'm able to pull that ink in and it doesn't go to waste, but that's why I do that.
I don't ink blend on my table, so.
Well, my table's made out of glass, so.
I know. We don't all have fancy glass tables.
Mine's not fancy. All right, so look how cute. That's so fun with the little hearts peeking out down here. I just think it's so cute.
So cute. From the grass.
Yeah.
Cute.
Cute, right? I think it's cute.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to go ahead and do our second background, which is this card right here. And there's quite a bit going on. So we're going to go ahead and just get started. I'm going to grab my other piece of distressed white heavy stock. Going to add a little bit of removable runner. Add it to my board. And we are going to start, and I don't know the name of this one, Shari. This is the new stencil.
Oh, that is the Heart Garden stencil.
Thank you. We're going to start with the Heart Garden stencil. And I am going to have it about 1/4 of an inch up from the bottom of the card. And we're going to ink blend our little hillside first. And I have it about 1/4 of an inch up from the bottom. Like we're making a floating hillside. Just stick with me. It'll all work. A floating hillside. So what I do when I have a stencil like this that has a lot of different elements is I'm going to use some Post-it tape and I'm going to cover the elements I'm not blending. Now, these are pretty far away, which I love, but because I'm live and I'm chit-chatting to you guys and I'm looking up at comments, I could just see myself accidentally going to town and blending these.
Getting a little too excited.
Yeah, getting too excited. And so we are going to ink blend this hill with the same celery stick Lawn Fawn green ink. So I don't need to clean my blender brush this time because I know the last green I used was celery stick. I always tap off, and I'm going to do a light-handed, gentle blend to fill in this hillside. Once we have that done, we're going to start to do our stems of our little heart garden. So I'm going to reuse my Post-it tape. I actually use it over and over and over until Jack, one of my kitties, runs away with it. He runs away with my Best Ever Craft tape and my Post-it tape, used pieces that are just hanging out. But what I did is I just picked and choose some different of the stems. You'll kind of see as we go.
So you didn't do the picture?
Say that again.
Go ahead. You do what you show us.
So I do one stem at a time. So I'm going to start with the larger stem that's over here on the left. And I'm going to tuck it pretty far on the left, even going off the page a little bit. I'm going to bring this up to the camera because I know it's hard to see white on white. So I'm only going to blend this first stem. Okay. Hello, Lisa. Another behind the scenes creative chick person. She's busy working on kits for Creative Crate for Firefly Farm. Yeah. Busy.
Oh, Rebecca says that Miles runs away with their craft supplies.
So just like my cats is what she's saying.
You have cats, they have Miles. Scout doesn't run away with things necessarily, but she does try to get in my trash can. She likes to rip paper, so she makes a big mess, which is fine, except that sometimes she also eats it, so I have to take it.
Yeah, that's not good. So I did that first stem right there. Now the second stem I'm going to put down, and I'm going to put it fairly close, but I don't want them overlapping. Did I do that? Let me look. This is the problem, guys. Oh, so I actually am going to skip that second one because that was kind of too big. So I'm going to go to this third one, the one in the middle.
I feel like, well,
I didn't.
I think what you're doing is fine, but to me it looks like you did the trio of 3.
I don't think I did.
That you did it to the left instead of centered, and then you moved it over and did the small one. I'm just looking at the angle at which they are, but I think it will look cute any way you do it.
Yeah, honestly, what I wanted to just show is the fact that even though the stems are in an arch, I was just trying to show you guys, like, you can put them however you want. And it's not,
a garden, it grows however.
Exactly. And it's not more complicated. So I might have done that, to be honest, but
that's what it looks like, but I don't think it matters. I think
part of the
problem,
of doing the classes so far in advance is sometimes I forget. But you guys can see, so we've got 2 stems. Then I'm going to do another big stem, but I want it to arch to the left instead of to the right.
I can also see why you did it this way versus doing the way we kind of showed it in our intro video. You do the little 3, like you have a trio and you could make it 5 because you didn't want the short one behind your hedgehogs. It would be hidden.
That's exactly why I did it, Shari. I was just shaking no. Because
You're supposed to be like, yes, that's a brilliant idea.
I love you, but I don't, like, Shari and I definitely design cards differently, and I love that because she and I talk a lot, like, behind the scenes, like, via chat and stuff, but I don't sketch, for one. Shari does. And I think out my cards, but I don't plan out my cards that much. Like, I don't think I was really thinking about the hedgehogs, but thank you for thinking I was.
Look, okay, let's just tell everyone else. If you decide to go rogue and do the 3 in the middle, your hedgehogs may cover up your middle flower. How's that?
So now I'm going to go back to the smaller one that is arching to the right. Again, you guys can do, and you can see I'm like really turning my stencil. You can do whatever you want. Whatever you do is going to be so cute. You build your own heart garden, basically.
There's no wrong answer.
Nope. And you can see I'm just reusing my Post-it tape so that I don't accidentally blend something that I don't want to.
Brienne's dog ate a whole roll of Spellbinder's tape. Good grief.
Oh, boy.
And Elaine said her dog eats tissues.
Oh boy.
Scout ate a dryer sheet once and I freaked out, but I got it out of her, so.
When Jack was really young, he plays with rubber bands and he was eating them, but now he doesn't do that. So he'll play with them, but not eat them. All right, and then I'm going to finish this off with one more big stem arching to the left. And I haven't really re-inked my blending brush. I'm just kind of using whatever ink is left in it because there was plenty. So cute.
Oh, did we say hedgehogs? We said hedgehogs.
Oh, did we say hedgehogs again? When did I even talk about
it? I'm so sorry.
Oh, you might have. I guess we both did. Oh, sorry. Kelly's going to fire us. I feel like this happens every time Kelly's not on a live with us.
Kelly's not going to fire us.
Okay. Nobody.
I promise. Kelly's not going to fire us.
Nobody tell Kelly, okay?
She's probably at home watching.
I know. She's probably watching. Okay.
You're saying hedgehogs too many times.
So now I am going to use bubble gum, and we're going to put a heart at the top of each of these now, but I don't want to accidentally get any green ink on my project. So I'm going to just use a mister bottle that I have isopropyl alcohol in.
Rebecca is not going to tell her.
Oh, thank you, Rebecca.
She said it's our secret.
It's our secret.
Except for this video lives out in the public, so.
It's our secret. There's over 200 people watching now, and who knows how many people are going to watch the replay. Shh, it's our secret.
Kelly who? Someone said Kelly who.
Oh, just one of the owners of the company. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Buddy.
Okay, so now I'm going to go heart by heart and add...
watch your hearts, by the way.
Yeah, I'm watching my hearts.
Because I just ink blended one that was just floating, so I flipped it over and started again.
Oh boy.
It's okay.
I'm gonna watch my hearts, and I am gonna add a gentle bit of bubblegum ink in these hearts.
I really want it.
Oh. And really, if you're doing it the way I'm doing it, like stem by stem, you really just need a big heart and a small heart to work with. You can arch your stencil.
That's true.
However you want, just to fit into the base of where the butt. You have to
pay attention to what's really close that isn't attached to a stem. That was what I messed up.
Right. Yeah. And again, I'm not re-inking my blender brush a ton because I really want these to kind of stay nice and soft. So cute.
Oh, Libby said her dog chewed on tissues when she had COVID.
Ugh. Oh, when that's right.
Had a cold, Matt and I had a cold at the same time, and Scout stole the tissues before I could throw them in the trash. And I was like, no.
Ugh. Why do dogs have to be so gross? Okay. I'm going to clean that stencil later. Look how cute.
That one to the
that
one really loves the other one.
I got a little flopping going on, but what I'll probably end up doing is scooch my hedgehogs over a little bit. It's going to be okay. It's going to be super cute.
Porcupine.
Oh, porcupine. I'm going to scooch my porcupine over a little bit. I was just seeing if you were going to catch me.
Oh, someone wants to know the COVID class coupon. It is
LF Create 24.
Yeah, it's for any class.
It's for any class. Any class. Online class. Yep. Okay. So now we're going to go back to our grassy stencil. And we are going to fill in the bottom part You can have your grass go up as high as you want, whatever you want. I'm going about a half an inch, but whatever. And we're going, or I'm going to use freshly cut grass now. So it's a little bit darker than celery stick. I feel like the next Create With Us, we're going to have like a secret word. Like we'll just say like hedgehogs and we'll all just start laughing. And Kelly will be like, what's the joke? And we'll be like, don't worry, Kelly, don't worry.
You had to have been there.
Or everybody's going to come in the comments. Hedgehogs, hedgehogs, hedgehogs.
Lifetime password.
I know. That's what I should have made the coupon code. Jeez.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
And I wouldn't forget it.
I like the grass with the hill behind it.
Thanks, Shari.
That your next coupon code is going to be hedgehogs24.
Yeah, that's going to be my next coupon code. So cute, right, guys?
Oh, Judy says thank you for using Copics. Well, we've invested our money in Copics too, but other kinds work with them.
I have been teaching with Copics and using mine for 20 years. Not going to switch, but they again, alcohol-based markers all work similarly. Yeah, and they work together. So
I have a couple. I have 2 Olo markers. I don't use them often because they're purples, so I don't. But they work with Copic.
Liz says like that one class we talked about bread bags constantly. Yes, wasn't it about putting them on your feet before putting them in the boots? Yes, all of you people in the Midwest knew to do that, and nobody in New England taught me as a kid to do that.
Bread bags?
I'm afraid not. You might not have been at that Create With Us, which is weird because you've been at most of them, but I don't know how we got on the topic, but everybody in the Midwest is smart because they have to deal with snow more than anybody. But you put your feet
on your
bread bags, and then you put your feet in the boots, so then your feet don't get wet playing in the snow.
Oh, okay. So you're basically using it over your sock?
Yeah, you put socks on your feet, bread bag, then you put it in the boot, and nobody taught me this.
I do think I vaguely remember this, but it's not something
I know. I honestly can't believe I never wore bread bag socks either because I grew up in New Hampshire. I grew up snowmobiling and skiing and sledding and doing all the winter things that I now can't stand.
You just had to live with wet feet, I guess.
Which is probably why I hate winter. If somebody had told me about bread bags, Rebecca grew up in New York and she didn't know about it either. Us in the Northeast, we did not know about this bread bag thing. Okay. Now we're getting on to bread bags again. So I'm using the Cloudy stencil and I'm covering my hearts. Let me show you my sample again. So we're going to start our first poof of clouds above the hearts because I didn't want to mix my blue and my pink. Okay. And we're going to end up doing 3 poofs.
3 poofs.
3 poofs. And I love the Lawn Fawn stencil because it has the best 4-sided poofs.
Of all
I'm going to use Merman ink. Yep, see, Libby did it in Michigan. Laura says she did it in Mass.
Someone says they live in the South and they put them on the outside of the shoes because they didn't own snow boots. That's probably more where I would do it.
That makes sense. Yeah, we didn't do it. We didn't know. So just like the grass stencil, I'm starting blending on the stencil and going off the stencil up into the paper. You don't want to go too high, though, with your ink because we want to be able to have room for our other poofs. So I'm going to turn my stencil to another poof.
Yes, Libby, boots are better now.
Well, I don't know about that.
They used to leak. Yes, you can get waterproof boots that are pretty good now.
It's still cold, and I don't like the cold. I used to have those moon boots. Remember moon boots?
Is that like from the 80s, like puffy ones?
They were puffy. They were. I remember one time my dad was plowing our driveway, and I was playing on the snowbank he was plowing up into, and it accidentally, when he pulled the plow back, it pulled my boot off my foot. So my dad was carrying me into the house, and my mom like freaked out. She thought maybe like I lost a foot or something.
You had been hurt or something, but no, we just didn't want you to step in the snow.
No, he just couldn't find my boot. It was like, I don't know, he
Oh,
couldn't find it, or it got crushed. I don't remember, but it's just again those stories of growing up in the 80s where we did all this stuff that like could have harmed us, but yet we're still alive.
Susan's asking about where the clouds are, I think. It starts right above.
So start right
above the flowers and give yourself enough room to do 3.
But it's after you do that first poof, you can just move up and do 2 more. It just doesn't matter.
So yeah, it's about in the middle of the card, or it is on mine.
Yeah.
About where it landed.
And that is our second background. Look how cute. And this is like my typical Valentine colors. A little pink, a little teal, a little green, no red.
Moon boots were not just puffy. They were ginormous.
They were ginormous. That's true.
I don't think I had any then. I would have remembered that.
They were ginormous. All right. So what I didn't have us prep and do is I cut my rectangles out of the largest outside in stitched rectangle die, which is Shari's fault that I do this now, but it gives us that nice little stitching with a little border. The reason why I didn't have you do it ahead of time is I personally like to ink blend first and then do my die cutting, because I think when you die cut and then ink blend, the ink catches and settles on the grooves of the die more, and I just personally don't like that look. So I'm going to now die cut both of my panels out of, again, the largest outside in stitched rectangle, which is going to make it 4 by 5 1/4. So if you don't have this die, and I often do this as well, I just trim my panel down to be 4 by 5 1/4.
Libby had to go. Bye, Libby.
Bye, Libby.
Sister melted her moon boot standing too close to the maple syrup making fire.
Oh, that sounds about right. I grew up next to power lines, and my dad and I used to go on the snowmobile. We would go on the power line, start at the power lines, and drive all day, like sun up to sundown on the snowmobile, going all over, just following trails and power lines. But the other thing he used to do, because my feet used to get cold, is when we would stop for lunch and stuff, he would take my boots off my feet and put them in the engine of the snowmobile to warm them up.
Luckily, he never melted them.
Yeah, I guess he never did. All right. So now we need to, does anybody know what we need to do next?
Ink blend things? The card base?
No. Oh, yeah, I guess we could do that next.
I didn't know when you do that.
Yeah, we'll do that now, I guess, since we have our inks out.
Were you going to say glitter all the things?
I was, but whatever, Shari. We'll ink blend.
Sorry.
It's okay. All right. So we have our 2 card bases. I'm doing a vertical top fold card base, so I cut them to be 4 1/4 by 11. And just a reminder, you guys, if you weren't here at the beginning, we do have a whole handout about the prep for this and what the measurements are and what the supplies. They're all on Lawn Fawn's website, which I just realized our little footer went away.
Okay.
There it is. So it's all on Lawn Fawn's website. So if you didn't get it, you can go after the live and grab it. But so for one card base, what we're going to do is ink blend all 4 sides with Merman.
Okay.
And I don't care like really what this looks like because you're only going to see a little bit of it. But I do start on a non-porous surface and I blend in towards my card just to get a nice smooth blend.
So this is just to give you a blue border around it,
Exactly.
Right?
Yep. Because like you'll see here, just to give you that nice blue border.
Oh, that looks good with the white.
Yeah, it just kind of makes everything pop a little bit. Okay. So you can see super messy in the center, but as long as your edges are colored. You're welcome, Susie. Susie goes to Firefly Farm.
Oh, Stellar Crafts by Pam needs a truly good Copic black ink.
Oh.
Porcu-pine Clear Smears. Yes, because it is a pigment oil-based ink.
Here you go. This
Jet
is the best black ink. This works with alcohol-based markers and with watercoloring. It's all I ever use.
I'm sure Rebecca can give us a link.
Yes.
For some jet black ink.
For the second card base, what I did is I switched it up a little bit. I did, because this is the one where we're going to have the clouds and the grass, I did blue at the top and green at the bottom, just to switch it up, because why not? So while I still have blue on my table, I'll get that done.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you, Rebecca. All right.
Ink link.
So blue at the top. And then again, I'm going to clean off my non-porous surface with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. Wipe with my flour sackcloth. And then I'm going to do green at the bottom. And you can use freshly cut grass or celery stick. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to use freshly cut glass because I don't want to clean my blender brush. And blend right up into that Merman. Because we're using water-based dye inks, the overlap of color is really pretty. So you can see just like this.
Kristen asked if the coupon code is only for classes on her website, not for Creative Crate. Yes, just her website.
Yeah, it's just my classes.
Creative Crate is Firefly Farm's website.
Yeah. Firefly Farm runs that event, so I can't be putting her products on sale.
No, she can't. She doesn't control Firefly Farm's products, only her own.
All right. So now guess what we get to do?
Glitter the things.
Yes, thank you. Finally.
I was my sweatshirt that took off because it got too warm. Says
glitter all of the things. I think that's funny that that's the one you chose too. Or did I send it to you? Did I send it to you?
No, this was the one I picked out.
Okay, I couldn't remember. All right. I am using Lawn Fawn Prisma glitter. I keep it in a container that's at least 5.5 by 5.5. I feel glitter gets a bad rap. I feel if you follow my tips and tricks, it's not messy and it doesn't get everywhere. I like to use a Sakura Quickie glue pen, and you guys can see I'm getting down to the very last drop of this Quickie glue pen.
Wait.
What?
We didn't ink blend our letters.
Oh, shoot. I'm so excited to glitter, Shari.
Sorry. We can't glitter yet. All right. I was just looking to see what you glitter on your handout, and I was like, that doesn't work.
I would have gotten there. All right. Well, before we glitter, we're going to take out our word prickle.
Brienne wants to know if I wear that sweatshirt ironically. No, I still glitter all the things.
She stickles all of the things.
Stickles.
It's true. It's true. We are going to ink blend the bottoms of our prickle letters with bubblegum ink. So let me get my ink stand back out. Let me get my ink pad out. No, it's good. It's good. I'm glad you're keeping me on task.
So, Brianne, I do not live in a glitterless world. It's just a different kind of glitter.
So you just want to be gentle because we don't want to accidentally wrinkle our letters. But I'm just dusting the bottoms of these letters with a little bit of bubblegum ink. You're not going to have to re-ink your blender brush very often because, again, we just want a dusting. I'm kind of going a little bit farther up than halfway. I just wrinkled my R. Do as I say, not as I do.
Linda asked about the birthday stamp set. Oh, Rebecca got it.
Rebecca's answering.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lawn Fawn gives a free stamp set for your birthday, plus I think a coupon code, right?
Yes.
I think so. But you have to make sure your birthday is listed in your account, and you have to make sure you're logged into your account. And it's for the whole month of your birthday.
I'll send you an email to remind you.
Yep. Yeah, they do, but I mean, marketing emails are so hard. Like, not all of those go through, so.
They send you a couple.
No, I know, but just knowing, because I send emails and they don't all go through.
No,
so
I just mean
I
that.
was just saying, like, as long as you have it in your account and you log in the month.
Yes, they'll send you, because I get a reminder email.
Okay.
Okay, now you can glitter things, I think.
Yes, now I can glitter things. So, like I was saying, I'm using the Sakura Quickie Glue pen. It's down to the last drop, but mine never clogs on me because I make sure I glitter something at least once a month. And we are going to glitter the bottoms of these letters. Now, when I say that, you don't need to worry about filling the letter in completely. Just gently scribble a little bit of Quickie Glue pen on the bottom of the letter. And it's just going to be enough to hold the glitter. And because it's Prisma glitter, it's going to look pretty no matter what. It doesn't need to be filled in completely. So these are going to look like they're dipped in sugar-coated glitter goodness.
Brianne says, what? A stamp set and a coupon code?
Yeah, Brianne.
Did you not know, Brianne? And the stamp set changes every year, so
you get a new stamp
one every year. It changes over in November. Right now, you can get the Party Deer stamp set, which if it was close by, I'd grab it, but it's buried somewhere, so I'm not gonna.
So once I use the Quickie Glue pen on the letter, I take that letter and I just dip straight in and straight out of the glitter, and then I tap the edge of the paper with my pen, and that drops off any of that static cling. If you like to use tweezers would be a good thing to use right now. I'm just not really great at tweezers. I have always just used my hands. And again, I just dip straight in and straight out. I don't like fluff the letter in the glitter or anything like that, so that there's no mess. Literally no mess. No mess. The other thing that I glittered was the dots on the mushrooms and all the hearts.
Pam has a glitter question for you.
Okay, what is it?
It says, what do you use different loose glitters for? Like, when do you use Prisma glitter and when do you use chunky? And what glue do you use for chunky glitter?
That's a great question. It's all the look and feel that I want or the mood I'm in. Like, really. I use
as far as when to use different ones.
Yeah, when to use different glitters. I use Prisma glitter the most. Chunky glitter I use sometimes. Chunky glitter is really great in small increments, like a little sprinkling on ocean cards, a little sprinkling on the bottoms of these letters would be really cute. Prisma glitter is literally glitter all of the things. If I'm adhering chunky glitter, I use Lawn Fawn glue tube or glossy accents. And I kind of go over this in some of my classes, like this technique of like, if I want the chunky glitter to look really sparingly and not so solid, I'll use glossy accents. So that way when I sprinkle the chunky glitter, I have it hit here and there, but wherever it doesn't hit, there'll just be a fun little gloss from the glossy accents. Does that make sense? And then the other glitter that I also use a lot of is Distress Rock Candy. Distress Rock Candy is chunkier than Prisma, but not as chunky as Chunky. And it's a shimmery glitter, not a sparkly glitter.
It's not non-iridescent.
Yeah.
It's more like sugar.
Yep. So there's no right or wrong. Whatever glitter you choose to use is perfect. I just do whatever look I'm going for. That's how I choose. And sometimes I use all three on the same project.
Barbara wants to see your glue pen again. The quickie glue pen.
The current glue pen, Rebecca can link to it on Lawn Fawn. Now I'll tell you, our little hedgehog here is holding that tiny heart, and that's glittered. I cannot hold that little heart and dip it into the glitter. So what I do is I'll take that little hedgehog. I'm going to use a little bit of glue tube to adhere the heart to his hands. So I'm just going to do a little dot of glue. And then once this sets, I just got to give it a minute to set. I'll then put Quickie glue pen on that little heart and dip that into glitter. And then that way I have a little bit more to hold on to add the glitter. And then the last little heart is the heart on the card. But again, I get it. Some people will just never like glitter, and that's totally okay. But I also do feel like it's a bad rap. I think if you use it and you kind of follow my tips and tricks, and the more you do it, it doesn't have to be messy. Like I don't have it all over. And I literally use it every day.
I think you said hedgehog again. They're calling us out, by the way. Y'all are not keeping the secret very well.
I'm gonna call it a critter. I probably won't remember that either, though.
It's a porcupine. It's okay.
It's okay. There's just many uses for this set. It's many different critters. All right, my friends. Now we are into assembly mode. I'm going to take a sip of water.
What about Wink of Stella? I haven't used a Wink of Stella pen in a while.
I haven't used a Wink of Stella in a long time. I used to get frustrated because sometimes it would react with the inks I was using and like smear things. So I would just get frustrated.
Because if you have a water-based ink, it might smear it.
Yeah. Liz says that the last Get Crackin' on Christmas, I used multiple glitters, and I did. I do Get Crackin' on Christmas every month, the third Thursday of the month, and I do host a live on my YouTube channel. So yeah, definitely check that out.
Yeah, even stickles will react with some stuff sometime, but on like images, it's fine because that's alcohol ink usually.
Yeah, yep. And I like stickles too. I'm just teasing Shari about stickles. I do like stickles.
Yeah. Well, that's going to happen later.
Shari. Okay, let's start with this card here. Quill You Be Mine. All right.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my stitched rectangle to my card base.
Is it flat on there?
I think I actually foam taped my original, but this time I'm going to put it flat. Either way will be beautiful.
Just depends on how thick you want it to be.
Yep. are you using? Oh, wow, that's really loud.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Was it a Tombow?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it just sounded really. I think it was just weird sounding. It didn't sound like your Tombow.
I'm gonna have to go in the other room and glue.
Yeah. Can you please leave? Can you please mute your
please
mic?
go glue in the other room?
Okay.
Look, I stuck it on the wrong carpet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It wasn't stuck down too much yet.
So we are going to start building our scene. So I'm going to go ahead and add my 2 big trees flat on the card. So I like to use Lawn Fawn glue tube for this. Hi, Scout.
I had it on the right card base.
Oh, you did? Yeah, it's all teal. The all teal card base.
I was like, oh no, but it's green on the bottom. No, it was me.
We could have done green on both cards, honestly, but
I think I was confused. So then I was looking at your handout, but I see now. I'm just gonna go ahead and.
Good thing you have that amazing.
Sorry, everybody.
You're fine, Shari.
Oh, it's at the end. Maybe that's why. Well, they said it's ASMR.
Yeah, we're starting the ASMR part of this live. Okay, now I'm going to add my smaller tree in front on the left. I'm just going to use a little foam strip.
Okay, I'm done doing that now. Sorry.
Shari, I didn't mean, you're fine.
I was just going to go ahead and put the other one on there because I love sticky stuff on it. And
I was just like, what was that?
Well, I was giving you a warning so like you didn't say any super important information while I was doing it. And someone missed it.
Got it. Thank you. All right. Now we're going to add all our trees. All our leaves for our trees. So what I like to do for something that's little like this that I'm going to be placing is I'm going to lay them all on my table, print up, and the tool that we use for like gems and stuff to pick up, I'm going to use it to pick up and place my leaves. And I find this just really easy instead of fumbling with my fingers. So I'm going to start with this back large tree, and I'm just going to dab a little glue where I'm going to want my leaves, just like I would if I were placing sequins. And I'm going to pick up my bunch and place it down. And because I'm using a wet glue, there is a little bit of wiggle room too, and I can kind of turn the leaf and have it be however I want. And I kind of just mixed my leaves. And then on the smaller tree on the front, I'm doing the same thing. I'm just putting some wet glue down. The top 2 leaves are kind of overlapping, so I'm going to put the first leaf down and then dab a little bit more glue and put the second leaf down. And look at that. We're all out of leaves before you know it.
It was way faster to put them all on than cut them all out.
Oh, boy. Listen, we have to put some hard work into life to get something really cute like this, you know. All right. So now we are going to add our porcupines.
Oh, I see what I did.
And I added them with foam squares. But like the front porcupine, I'm going to back up and put my card in view a little bit. This guy on the left is overlapping the tree a little bit. So I'm going to add foam squares behind his body And then I like to just add a little bit of glue tube behind his quills where he's touching the tree. And the same thing with the mushrooms. Half the mushrooms are going to be on the tree and the porcupine, and half the mushrooms are going to be hanging off. So I'll do a foam square and some glue tube. I do this a lot to still have that dimension, but be able to like layer things smoothly. We're going to add a heart into his hand. A glittery heart. So cute. And then we'll add the other porcupine on the other side. I'm going to use some big foam squares for that since he's not overlapping anything. You do just want to make sure there's going to be room for this little guy. And he is going to overlap. It's so fun when everything starts to come all together. We've got our stamping and our die cutting and our coloring and our glittering and our ink blending all done. And that see, now I'm doubting
porcu-pine. Just call it a porcu-pine and maybe we'll stop messing up.
Right? Like my class name. That porcu-pine is holding the cute little card. We will do our sentiments all together. So I'm just going to set this one aside for just a minute and we'll do the scene building on our other card. So I'm going to add this to the card base that's half blue, half green. I should have said that last time, like been more clear.
Okay, I just wasn't paying attention. I told you at the beginning, I may or may not be prepared. So,
well,
I'm sure it was something I was doing that was unprepared.
It's all good. It was a little last minute having you join me, so. All right.
I'm trying to reference my handout like a good student.
So we are going to add our little hugging porcupines.
I think this was the first time I actually inked these guys up.
Your stencils?
No, the hugging guys. The hugging.
Oh.
Well, because all my other ones had ink on them, and I was like, did I not ink these up? So I must have not.
And I am going to put mine a little bit to the right to just kind of make my background work a little bit better, which is totally fine. And then the little mushrooms are going to be flat and the acorns are going to be popped up. I had already inked this one because we're using the hugging ones in my class too.
I think that all the ones I made for videos, I must have not. Hugging were not one of my.
You didn't want them to hug?
One of my assignments. I didn't want them to hug. Whatever ones I did, they didn't fit into what I was trying to show everybody.
So just remember this big piece of Best Ever Craft tape that I use to hold my images to make it easier to color. I keep this and I'll rip this into smaller pieces to hold my dies in place for die cutting later. Like, you know, if I need to die cut a bunch more leaves. Yes, the small heart is from the bigger set. But there's so many cute things that he could be holding in the add-on set.
Any of those things would work.
Yep.
Although I think he may be too small for some of them.
No, I think it could, like the flower would work, the acorn, the phone, but he also could just be sitting there too. He doesn't have to have something in his hand.
True.
All right, cute little acorns in place. I gotta add some hearts. Let's see
I'm gonna
here.
add my extra surprise element.
Oh, I can't wait to see.
Don't get so excited. Don't get too excited.
Oops. All right. Now we are ready for some sentiments.
Oh yes, Rebecca says always shop your stash because there are hearts in everything.
Yeah, hearts and lots of small elements.
If you ever type in heart on the Longfont website, I'm pretty sure you might get every set.
Ooh, I love it. You're going to recreate the card with Sent with Love. I hope you post your card and use the hashtag and tag us because I would love to see it. All right, so now to do the sentiments, I do this a lot and love to do this. I like to pick out a word from the sentiments that are included in the stamp set and make one word bigger to just kind of fill the space on the card and just give this really fun element. And the way that I add these nice and straight and even is I'm using the grid on my Make Art Station. And I'm just kind of spacing out the letters to get them to look the way I want. So they're all nicely even spaced. And then I'm actually going to use a piece of that Best Ever Craft tape that I just had. And I just lay this tape down over the letters and pick them all up in one swoop.
You can also, what I do is bump the bottom with my ruler.
Oh, yes, I do mention that a lot. You can just use a ruler to kind of bump the letters and have them evenly spaced.
Like they're sitting on a shelf, and then you can pick them up with your tape too. If you're not feeling great about your placement.
Yeah, and if you don't have a grid mat or what have you.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to use, I like to pop up the letters, so I am going to use the 3L foam strips. And on Henry's ABCs, there's a thick and a thin part of the letters. And so I just add foam strips to the thick part. And to me, that's fine. Like, it's going to be fine in the mail. It's enough to pop it up. And then I am going to add this to the card. I am going to mute myself and run real quick. I have to blow my nose. I can barely.
Okay.
So give me 1 second.
You can't breathe. Oh, the word stinkin' would be funny.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I just could as I'm talking, I could barely breathe because I couldn't breathe out of my nose. Okay.
It was kind of weird. It was very silent. I don't know.
Well, I muted myself
by yourself.
You guys all didn't need to hear me blow my nose.
I know, but it was just kind of a weird,
I'm not a dainty nose blower, so nobody needed to hear that. Okay. So now for the curved letters, the E and the C, I'm just grabbing little pieces of those foam strips and just doing 2 little pieces since it is a curve, just to be able to make that curve. And
Oh.
if you don't want to use foam, you most certainly can adhere your letters flat. That is totally okay. I know sometimes people think this is a little too finicky for them, and that's totally okay. I really like the dimension, so I put up with it. And the more you do it, the easier it gets too. Again, practice, practice, practice.
The difference between mint tape and yellow tape is just the color.
Well, that's not true 100%. The mint tape, I think, is from
Different manufacturer.
scrapbook.com. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it is different, like, than the best ever craft tape. I think I'm not going to say I've never owned the mint tape, but from what I've seen, I think I don't know, but they are different manufacturers. Okay, but just use any low tack tape that you have.
You could use washi tape.
Yep. So now we are going to add our letters onto our card.
So you've already pulled off the backer pieces.
I did. I gently pulled the backer pieces off. I feel like my letters have moved a little in my nose debacle situation, but I'm going to be okay with it. This word fills the card pretty well, so I don't feel like I need to get out my zero centering ruler or anything. And one thing I did forget to mention is if you're ever worried that you're spreading your word out too far, just put your card here as you're spacing out your letters on the grid, and then you'll know if it's going to fit within your frame. So let's go ahead. I have a little bit of stamping to do on here, but let's go ahead while we're in the mode of adding our letters. Let's add our letters quill to this card. So I'm going to do the same exact steps. I'm going to line them up on my grid. These I cut out of the Pixie Dust Sparkle cardstock. So we didn't have to glitter them because they're all glittered. It's magical. There we go. And then I'll use this Best Ever Craft tape, low tack tape, press down, pick it up. You do want to be careful with the sparkle cardstock. The tape might not be holding on to it as well. So just be careful when you're pulling your foam squares off and stuff like that, so you don't accidentally pull it off the tape. And again, for that Q, I'm going to do 2 smaller pieces of foam strips.
Inking does work on the glitter cardstock. It's just very pale.
You could use
I actually just added a little bit of pink to mine, but it's very, very, very subtle.
You could, if you still have your broad tips to your Copics, you could use your Copic markers. Just be gentle. I would not use your brush tips. And
if you do use the brush tip, just dot.
Yeah, just be very gentle because it'll rough up your tips. So just
you don't want to go back and forth on the gritty surface because it's like sandpaper.
Right. Basically. And I also have used alcohol inks to ink Pixie Dust Sparkle cardstock.
Oh, I've done that too. This is very like bright.
So I am going to use my zero centering ruler this time because my word is a lot shorter, and I really want to make sure that it is centered. This always takes me. Does this take everybody a minute? Like, you've got to like look at the lines and be like, okay, it's on that one on the left. It's on this one on the right. Or is that just me? Shari probably just whips it down.
I'm not answering that question. I just put it down.
Well, I like sometimes look and I'm like, if it's not right on the numbered ones, I'm like, okay,
Yep.
it's a little line over, it's a medium line over.
Oh, I don't even use the ruler.
Oh, I like to make sure. I eyeball a lot, but when I get to the letters, I don't mess around. I gotta make sure I do it right. All right, you guys. So now what we are going to do is a little bit of sentiment stamping to fill in the rest of our sentiments. So let's go ahead and continue with this quill card. So underneath quill, I'm going to stamp "You Be Mine?" ? And that is from the bigger set. I couldn't remember. So you could cut your stamp apart if you wanted, but what I'm actually going to do is take a piece of my best ever craft tape. I'm going to cover the word quill so that I'm only inking up "You Be Mine." And I'm just going to use black ink for that part. So I go right to the stamp and just ink it up. So you can see I've got a lot of ink on my best ever craft tape. Peel that off. And then I'm going to stamp "You Be Mine" under quill.
Be sure to pull your tape off.
Yeah, I've done that before.
I have to.
And then what I did is I took the small heart that's down in the sentiments on this set, this one. You could use the other small heart if you wanted, but I'm using the one in between the sentiments. And I'm just adding some hearts, kind of like sequins, up around the Q and a couple around the sentiment we just stamped.
In black?
Yep, in black. And then on the other card, we are going to stamp "You and My Fancy." And this is from the smaller set, the add-on.
You my fancy.
So "You" is separate, so that one's easy. We'll go ahead and stamp that right above the big letters. And then to get my fancy, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to use the best ever craft tape to mask off the word prickle. And I'm going to do a new piece of best ever craft tape because the ink does not dry on that best ever craft tape, so I don't want to touch it and get ink on my fingers.
You don't want to contaminate your fingers.
Right. And we're tucking this over on the lower right. So cute. Oh, good. I'm glad you're getting meds, Elaine. All right, so here we go, you guys. We've got "Quill You Be Mine" and "You Prickle My Fancy." So cute. I love them. I love them. Let us know in the comments if we missed any questions. I kind of focused on getting the assembly done, and I haven't really looked up very much. Let's see. Yeah, Kelly says OCD here. It has to be centered. So I don't have OCD, but when it comes to letters, it's got to be centered. Shari, are you going to show us what you added to your card?
Oh, yes.
Show us.
This, can you see him? The little snail.
Oh, I love the little snail. I know. He needed to be. I actually was just thinking about that.
He's my favorite. And I was stamping out, and I was like, no snail? We need a snail.
Yeah, I used him in my online class, but not for today's class. So just remember, you guys, I do have an online class that coordinates with this. It's called Porcu-pine. The live is next Saturday, but if you can't attend live, just like any of my online classes, you can take them at your own convenience. It's definitely more in depth. Like, we spend a ton of time coloring and going over Copic coloring, and then we spend a ton of time on techniques and stuff. We still do chit chat, but it's definitely more education focused than
you don't have Shari distracting you and chit chatting.
Well, just, and hopefully I'll remember that they're porcupines next weekend. Like, hopefully.
You want me to like in the chat every time be like, porcupines.
Yeah. I was going to say, Shari is sometimes, a lot of the times in the chat during classes too. And no worries if you're behind. Remember, you can rewind this video, watch the replay. No worries at all. That's, again, the beauty of these online classes is you can do them at your own pace and not worry. I am going to bring up just Shari and I will throw that coupon on one more time, I think.
Oh, Rebecca says snails are icky.
Not lawn snails.
Lawn snails.
They're
real
cute.
snails. No, thank you, but lawn fawn snails.
Yeah, I mean, lawn fawn makes everything cute, right? Yay! So the best place to post pictures is wherever you want. But if you're posting them on Instagram or Facebook and your account is public, then you can tag Lawn Fawn, you can tag Jen Shirkus, you can hashtag LF Create with us. I have a Facebook group that you can post them in. But yeah. Let's see, Jen, do you have any other online classes coming up soon besides the one with this set? Yes, Winter Wheel Wishes is a self-paced class, meaning I won't be live, but you'll have access to the videos. That is going to launch later this week. Shari and I are going to be teaching with Critters in the Sea in February, and we'll release all of those details on Monday. And whenever there's a Lawn Fawn release, I release new classes. So the end of February, I'll have more new classes.
Drop a secret there.
Oh, Rebecca's dropping secrets.
We didn't let any secrets out because we didn't get prior authority.
Yeah, this kind of all happened last minute, and we didn't get permission ahead of time of what secrets we could release.
What we could say, but
Rebecca just said, I can't do snails, but a hint, there might be one in a new snail coming soon.
Yes.
And I'll have some more distress technique classes coming up too, as well. So you guys can subscribe to my email newsletter. If Rebecca could just put that link in the chat, that would be awesome. That way you'll know all the details when Shari and my class launches on Monday, and you'll always know whenever I'm launching new classes. If you haven't used the online coupon code, feel free. Again, it's 50% off of an online class. Most of my classes are only $20. You get multiple page handouts, again, videos, lots of great resources. They're well worth the $20, let alone $10. So I'm hoping with the coupon code, some of you guys that maybe haven't tried a class with me yet will be inspired to try.
and see how fun they are and take pictures.
And you can always substitute, just like we say for Create With Us. You guys can always substitute supplies. I always encourage people to use what they have in their stash. Then after class, when you see how I use something or how I teach with something, maybe then you'll want it. You've been enabled. But I don't want you to ever buy something that you're not sure you're going to like. So definitely use what you have. Which ones are the live ones coming? Shari and I will be live teaching February 10th. That will be our Critters in the Sea. And I'm live on next Saturday. What is that, the 13th?
January 13th.
That is Porcu-pine. So those are the 2 live classes coming up. Any other questions? Sorry, I was reading and asking a question at the same time.
Reading and talking at the same time.
Can't do that.
Someone said hedgehogs eat snails, but they're porcupines.
Yeah, but these are porcupines, so they're not going to eat the snails.
So the snails are safe.
I don't know why you guys are talking about hedgehogs so much. Seriously.
I really like them.
Aw, thank you guys so much. Thank you for sticking with us. Again, Kelly was really bummed she couldn't be here last minute. So thank you, Shari, for always being willing to jump in and just hang out with me. I appreciate it. As always, you guys can always reach out to Lawn Fawn if you have questions. You can reach out to me if you have questions about my classes. I'm happy to answer anything that maybe I chatted about tonight. You can email me through my website. Thank you guys so much for your sweet comments, and I can't wait to see what you've created tonight. Again, you could have created a Halloween card. I don't care. I just want to see it. I love Halloween cards, by the way.
I just want to see it. I just want to see it.
Thank you guys so much. Have an awesome night, and we'll catch you guys all soon.